Hello, I'm Todd Lewis from Fiasco Sports, reporting for the SA Football magazine. Today I'm joined by Simon Quinn from the PHOS Camden Football Club in Division 2, and he's going to do our weekly roundup. So we'll just go through the results from the weekend. Broadview got over Portland by 29 points. Old Ignatians got over Sacred Heart Old Collegians by 2 points. St Peter's Old Collegians had a huge win over Gazer by 101 points. And Scotch Old Collegians had a huge win over Smosh Westlakes by 100 points. And unfortunately, PHOS Camden went down to Modbury by 27 points. Disappointing result there, Simon.
Yeah, it was. And Modbury are a good side. The biggest disappointment is if you don't take your best footy to play these good sides, you're never going to come up. So, it was a funny old game. It seesawed a bit, and then Modbury were too strong in the end and went away with it.
Yeah. How have you found the season play out so far?
Well, for us, disappointing in that we played St Peter's first round, who are again a really good side, and we had our opportunity to win, although we never deserved it, and we just weren't able to get there, coming from a long way behind them. And then again on Saturday, so 2 weeks in a row, we haven't really played our best footy for long enough, and so therefore we're zipping too.
Yeah. Playing a couple of the good teams early in the season gives you a good gauge of where you're at. You must have some positive signs that you've been in both contests and just haven't been able to get the result.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are two clubs that we think are going to be strong all year, and some of our good footies measured up quite well against them, but it's been our consistency that's probably the concern for us at the moment, and you just can't take your foot off with those sort of teams. So yeah, there's positives to come out of it. But we've got to measure ourselves against ourselves, and we're not playing the sort of footy yet that we want to be playing. So
yeah, you mentioned consistency. How do you train that during the week for a Saturday?
Well, that's the thing. It's about training, and it's about making sure that you're pushing yourself to the level at training so that you can then be competitive on a Saturday as an individual, to make sure you've got your stuff squared away, so that when you're under the pump against opposition teams, your skills and your preparation stand up. So that's probably what every one of our players, coaching staff, the whole lot at the moment need to make sure we're doing.
Okay, we'll just look forward to next week's games. If I can get a tip from you on each game. Sacred Heart Old Collegians take on Portland at Sacred Heart.
Yeah, I've got to go with Sacred Heart. I think they're probably in a similar boat to us. They just haven't quite got things right yet, but they're going to be a good side this year.
Okay, Broadview take on Scotch. Obviously, Scotch had a big win on the weekend. They're travelling all right.
Yeah, I reckon Scotch will be the team. I'm sure Broadview will put up a good fight, but I reckon Scotch might get over the line.
Okay, St Peter's Old Collegians take on Old Ignatians.
That'll be a really good game. Old Iggies came up with us from Division 3, and they're a really good unit. And but I think on what we saw from St Peter's last week, they're going to be probably the team to beat this year.
Okay, Modbury take on Gazer. Gazer obviously had a disappointing result on the weekend. They'll come out firing. Yeah,
I think they will. They had a good round one, and not sure what went on the weekend, but we can talk about Modbury, and they're going to be a good side, and I think Modbury will win that one.
Okay. And then PHOS Camden head down to Smosh Westlakes to take on Smosh. They obviously likewise had a disappointing result. Yeah. They'll be coming out firing. How do you set up for them on the weekend?
Oh, I'm sure we'll set up for them as they're setting up for us, and we want to win, and we're going down there for that, and they're probably sharpening their tools for us as well. So it'll be a really good game down there.
Yeah. What do you think are some of the things you need to improve on from the weekend for the game on the weekend?
Yeah, look, I'm really happy with certain parts of our game. I think, we've got to strengthen some areas in our game, like our forward structure. It's almost a new structure from what we had last year, or new personnel, and same with our midfield. We'll gain a couple of very, very good midfielders back in the next 2 weeks, and that'll make a difference, because we can then start to spread some players into those forward positions and across our centre, our wings, etc., which bolsters our talent, let's say. So that's probably, we're looking forward to that, but the boys just got to keep working at it and things will click.
Okay, thank you, Simon. I'm Todd Lewis from Fiasco Sports, reporting for the SA Football magazine. I've been joined by Simon Quinn from the PHOS Camden Football Club in Division 2, and he's done our weekly roundup.